What if it was possible to have local, fresh groceries delivered right to your door? Think of all the free time you'd have. Well, Instacart gives unlimited grocery delivery for one low monthly fee. Forgot that special ingredient in your favorite dish? Instacart can deliver it to your front door in as fast as 1 hour. You can shop multiple stores, see deals in your area, and save time and money. I've been using Instacart for over 3 years. I started using them in Arizona, and I'm using them here in Florida. I love the time-saving convenience. They pick the freshest products, and they keep my eggs safe too. To receive your first delivery free, follow the link in the show notes so that Instacart knows that we sent you and to help support the show. Instacart. Never step foot in a grocery store again. Welcome to Empowered Within, a soul-quenching, transformational podcast that will set your soul on fire through candid and inspiring conversations. Leading experts, celebrities, healers, and I share our journeys of how we've overcome challenges to living an empowered life from within. I'm your host, Jennifer Pilates. Welcome to another episode of Empowered Within. Hi there, and welcome to today's bonus episode. I recently had the honor of being interviewed on the podcast Linda's Corner with host Linda Bjork. Linda and I were like two schoolgirls chatting on the corner and sharing our experiences of aligning body, mind, and spirit through life, love, and Pilates. I hope that you enjoy this interview. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's bonus episode.
Welcome to Linda's Corner. My name is Linda Bjork, and today we're going to be talking about becoming empowered within. I'm delighted to welcome special guest Jennifer Pilates. Jennifer is an entrepreneur, celebrity trainer and advisor, empowerment coach, mentor, and the host of Empowered Within podcast. You can reach Jennifer at her website, jenniferpilates.com, and I'll include a link in the show notes. Welcome, Jennifer. I'm so glad that you could join with me today.
Hi, Linda. I'm so honored to be here today. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Oh, thank you for being here, Jennifer. And I am so excited to learn from you today. And I would like, if it's okay, to start with your transformation journey about how a car accident changed your direction.
It totally did. It was wild. It was, definitely one of those you got to go with the flows. And that's all I was able to do. I feel when the universe and God is beckoning at your door, it's usually in this moment of this or this major dramatic event that's transpiring, and you have no other choice but to just go with it, those moments in life. And that's really what was happening to me. I was climbing the corporate ladder fast and furious. I had all of these plans. God was laughing. And one day, terrible car accident, horrific car accident that led me into this incredible metaphysical, holistical journey. It transpired in Boulder, Colorado, which at the time, the mecca of alternative care. So that was such an incredible blessing. So here I was, never really being exposed to all these alternative different varieties of care. And I had them at my fingertips. And so through chiropractors and cranial sacral and working with therapists, and all of these amazing doctors and things that some things I'd never even heard of, acupuncture for the first time, all of this stuff that to some of us now is just everyday events. But back in 1997, that wasn't an everyday occurrence that you're going out and you're looking for these services. And through a lot of pain and a lot of tribulation, I was guided to a woman who specialized in rehabilitative care for Pilates. And so I started with her and I rehabbed for a year. And through that year, I just really enjoyed myself, ended up leaving the corporate world. And at the end, every once in a while, there's a small settlement with a car accident. And there was something small. It was just enough to go to Pilates school, though. And one of the women also that had been training me said, Jennifer, I really think you'd be really good at this. You've been here like every day in and out. You should go for this. And I thought, okay, it was the exact amount that I needed for the school.
Wow.
And so I went to the school. I didn't think twice about it. And my mission was that I just wanted to give back. If I could release just one person from being in pain, because all of these amazing trainers had helped me, then that was my mission through going through all this. Now, little did I know it was going to become so much bigger than just that, which again, such a blessing. But yeah, that's the very short end of the story. But it was such an incredible transformation that took me from climbing the corporate ladder, not thinking about self, not tuning into self, to a total 360 of finding self, finding energy and holistic metaphysical worlds and being able to help others and putting others more first, you could say, because I wanted to be there. I wanted to serve. And maybe at that moment, I didn't know that word or that lingo, but that's all I wanted to do is I wanted to serve and I wanted to give back.
Wow. Okay. I am not happy that you had an accident, but I am happy of what happened because of that accident. And you mentioned at the beginning as you were starting your story about how there are times when you have no choice but to go with the flow. And as I'm listening, I'm thinking, there are a lot of people who do not choose to go with the flow, who would have an experience like that and think, my life is over. And the world and the universe has all turned against me, and do not see that there is something good that can come out of something bad. So how beautiful that you did that, and you did it in such a way that it felt natural, like you were going with the flow. And how amazing. And then you talked about self and serving others, and how you said when you were climbing the corporate ladder, you weren't thinking of self, and then you thought of self and serving others. So will you clarify for me a little bit what you mean by you weren't thinking of self, and then you recognize self, and how self helps us to serve others?
Absolutely. So during that time when I was climbing the corporate ladder, it was very much, I knew what I wanted. I knew how to get there. I knew the direction. It wasn't, what am I doing for others? Now, with that being said, I was in the industry of assisted living and retirement community. I very much adored the residents and their family, and I would do anything for them. So there was some of that. But the ego self was, I will make this much money. I will have a house by the time I'm X, Y, and Z. I will be married, have one child, do this, do that. I was on this path to the point. I remember telling my mother, I'm not going to have time. I will have a child and then I'm going to have a nanny to take care of the child. Like, I'm not going to have time for this. This was literally a mindset of someone young in their 20s. I was very young and fortunate to have the career that I did very early on. And I started in the industry when I was 15 years old. So I knew a lot, but at the same time, I knew nothing. Like, I knew nothing. So that was all ego based. And that there's nothing wrong with ego. And we are all programmed at a certain age, and you do what you're taught, until you figure out and you find yourself. And then you figure out what is good for you and what is your passion and what is your inspiration and what do you want to give back to this world and how do you want to serve and what is your legacy? How do you want to leave this world a better place? And so during all that, yes, there was a piece of that because I was specializing in Alzheimer's. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to help residents. And I was doing all of that, yes. But on the other side, there was the ego that was like, and the money and the house and the car and the this and the that. And it all looked great on paper. But I wasn't happy. I was crying all the time. I was miserable. I took the bigger job and I was losing the in-touch aspect of being so hands-on with the residents and their families.
Wow.
So because I desired to climb the corporate ladder and I had made a bargain, I had made a deal with the company that I was at. And the deal was, if you leave our company and you go train with another company, get seasoned, which was very common, go learn. Because I was so young. I was like maybe 25. Go get more experience. Come back. We'll let you pick any state you want to be in New England. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Now, what I hadn't realized at the time was I didn't look at just what am I really good at. So I'm really good at sales and marketing. I'm really good at client relations. And had I just stuck with that path, God knows where I would be. But that was the better path. Once you jump into more of an administrative, you're the director, you're in charge, et cetera, you are with balance sheets and checks and minuses and this and that. And so it wasn't a great marriage, you could say. So there were so many blessings. Like, I think the universe just said, we've got to help her. And like, those pivotal moments happen in your life out of fear, out of pain, out of a traumatic car accident. And so in that moment, it really just stopped me in my tracks to the point I couldn't physically drive 20 minutes to work because I was in so much pain. I was in and out of doctor's office 8 hours a day at the beginning. There was so much going on, even mentally, that I couldn't even express it I had a great girlfriend living with me. I couldn't really express it because how do you put into words something that you don't understand? And that was part of that sort of, you can call it a first awakening or however that works for someone. But there was so much going on. I couldn't even formulate it into words. I would just be so quiet. But again, so many amazing things happened. And so I found painting. I found my entrepreneur skills. I found Pilates. I found learning what cranial sacral was and all these holistic aspects of life that I had no idea how they were going to serve me throughout the rest of my life. And so that's where I say it was like, I always had self, but self was being overrun by ego. And that's not to say that ego's always going to be there. Ego's going to be like, hey girl, did you see over there? If you do X, Y, and Z, look at what you can do, or look at what you can get, or look at how much you can make, or your name and flashing lights. And now it's very different to me. Now I like, and over the years, it's been very different to me. Really putting what means most and what feels at peace in my heart first versus say your name and lights or the money or this or that. It's, well, what have I done today? Who have I served? How have I helped? How have I brought light to the world? Have I made someone smile? It's all of that and really putting yourself first. So I really learned how self-care out of that car accident too. I'd never had massages before. Oh my gosh. And that was part of my rehabilitation. I'd never done Pilates. I was doing Pilates every day. So it was really learning self-care, learning self in that respect. And then knowing that, yes, you do have an ego and the ego can drive you and the ego is not bad, but I prefer to lead from my heart. And I prefer to, when I can balance out those two. And it's still a balancing act these days sometimes, but
for sure,
it just makes such a difference when you can just be authentic and know yourself and be okay with yourself. And I wish that our society would change and teach that versus I feel like we all learn this so later on in life along the ways where it would be so great if we taught that early in life to people. I think our world would be an incredibly different place. Don't you, Linda?
But Jennifer, don't you think that's what we're doing here and now? Is that we're helping people to understand this difference? Because you talked about ego and you talked about having that outcome-based goals where it's money, it's fame, it's my name and lights, it's whatever. And then when we think for most people who are trying to be humble or trying to be other people-centric and serving, they think that the idea of self-care is selfish. Or these kinds of things. A personal transformation, I don't need to worry about that. I'm taking care of other people. And when you really understand and you really get it right, it's about that personal empowerment from within where we recognize who we are. And as you talked about your particular transformation and the things that you did in your corporate world and in your job, I've talked to other leadership experts who said they had a similar issue where once they got to the next promotion, it did not match their skills, their abilities, their talents, their joy. And so he actually stepped down and recognized that is part of what brought him joy and brought him fulfillment and brought him success. But until we recognize who we are, what we want, what our talents are, what our skills are, we don't even know what we bring to the table. And I think you may have read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and he talks about that a circle of going from outcome-based to trying to work that into our identity versus starting with our identity and coming with systems, and then the outcomes, they come naturally. So it's not that we're saying that having wonderful things like a great paycheck or recognition or appreciation, any of those things are bad. It's just that when you do it from a place of authenticity, it just comes naturally.
Absolutely. It sure does. And once you find your zone of genius, what are you really good at? Like a couple of weeks ago, I was working with one of my coaches and mentors, and that's something we were working on. And so I took some different personality tests that surely I took earlier in life. And it was so eye-opening. And I thought all of the things that I would give myself flack for because I wasn't really good at, it's because they're not in my wheelhouse. So of course I'm not going to be good at them. But I never gave myself necessarily the kudos for everything that I'm great at, because when I looked at it, I thought, of course, this all makes sense now. I'm not necessarily a numbers person. I'm a creative person. I do projects. I invent things. I've always been an entrepreneur and starting a business and helping people brand their business, and I can walk in and change a business and walk out. That's my specialty, not sitting there telling you your numbers. So it was so eye-opening. And it goes back to those things that people tell you. A great coach, any good person will say, find what you like and do that. And then find a way to make money at it. And the stuff you don't like, hire it out, delegate it out, figure it out. If there's something that you're not good at, there's plenty of other people that are, and that's okay. Versus thinking you have to be good at everything because we're not good at everything. We're not supposed to be good at everything. And I think that can make it takes such a load of weight off of people, especially when I'm working with my clients. And they're like, you mean I don't have to do it? No, you're not supposed to do it all. No. what do you like to do? I want you to feel alive in your heart and feel good and serve and feel amazing about what you're doing, not go, great, I guess I got to go check the balance sheet. Oh God, Linda, the expenses, I don't even know. Or, oh God, how do I figure this out? No, there's so many people that can help you. So many people want to help. And that's been a big thing for me too, is allowing others in to help, which is amazing, it opens up the avenues for your inspiration and for your light to shine, because someone needs to see you, hear you, be with you, not while you're upset because you're grocery shopping. You don't have to grocery shop. You can hire someone to do your grocery shopping. Now, I know that sounds silly in this day and time, but it's true. Like right now, I have someone who is doing my grocery shopping so I can be here today because this is what is serving. And this is well worth it to me. So it's really it's the mindset of just working with yourself and being okay with everything.
And that being okay with everything and opening up rather than doing what kind of comes naturally, unfortunately. And that is comparing and saying, wow, Jennifer's really good at this. I'm not good at that. And then feeling very discouraged rather than saying, wow, Jennifer is really good at that. I wonder if she could help me with that. And I'm really good at this and I can do that. So that is wonderful. Recognizing who you are and then being open to see things from a new perspective. That's amazing. So some of the things that you saw from a new perspective is Pilates. And you use this as an incredible tool for healing. Can you help teach me what Pilates can do for a person like who's been in a car accident?
Oh, absolutely. And because of the way that I was introduced to Pilates, so my specialty is rehabilitative care. So I've always worked with people who have had an injury, whether that's my neighbor or whether that's someone on an NFL team or an MLB team. I've always been the fix-it girl. Go see Jennifer. She's going to fix it. You're in pain. Just check her out. And so Pilates is all about working from the inside out. And some people go, I don't understand. So when you go to the gym and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're seeing the outside of yourself, which is all well and good. But Pilates works on the inside first, on your little teeny muscles, so that those outer muscles that you're seeing when you stand in front of that mirror are automatically being worked. So I really like to really drive that home for people so they understand it's really a 2 for the price of 1. We're starting at your innermost muscles. The innermost core of your being is where we're starting. And from there, we work outward so that any ailments, because there's going to be more than one, we are going to fix along the way, find along the way, dig up, and release. Now, not only is that on a muscular level, that's also on an emotional level, because we're working within a cellular level at this point. It truly is body, mind, and spirit. So we're connecting your mind to your muscles. We're adding in your breath work, your spirit, which is connecting you to self. And it really is such a transformational practice when someone is really open to it. And so you're looking at strengthening your body, lengthening your body, all in a very safe environment, because you're working with yourself and your own body weight, whether that's on a mat, which you can do anywhere, or whether you have the equipment at home or you're going to a studio, then those are added benefits as well. But you truly can get all of the benefits right from a mat. Since I've been spending a lot more time in Florida, I have transitioned into Pilates. So I take the whole workout and put it in the pool. I have never been happier, Linda. I am obsessed, absolutely obsessed. And so I did a little bit of a trial for myself, because I know that on land with Pilates, Joseph has this guarantee. Joseph Pilates is the originator of the method. And his guarantee is in 10 sessions, you will feel a difference. In 20 sessions, you're going to be able to see a difference. And in 30 sessions, you will have a new body. And I always tell people that's different for everyone. So if you're needing to lose weight, that happens. If you need to lose inches, that happens. We're decreasing pain. We're decreasing ailments and dis-ease in the body. Anxiety is decreasing. You're sleeping better. Your mental attitude is better. Your mindset, your confidence is better because you're feeling better. Your posture is better. So I took this I challenged myself, Linda. So I may have went on a little hiatus from working out, which was very difficult for me. So when I say that, it means I was only walking. So I was just walking every day. And I was just eating and just having a heyday, because in some parts of life right now, some of us are doing that. There's a lot going on. So you can find a moment to indulge here and there. So I was indulging a little bit more than I normally would. And I said, okay, I'm going to challenge myself in the Pilates world now. Can I get the same exact results there that I can get on land? Linda. So today is what, June 23rd? I started this on June 1st. I've gotten in, today was session 17 from just the beginning of the month. So it's within 17 days now, or no, within 23 days, but not in 17 sessions. So not every day. I am down 1 inch to 2 inches between my bust, my waist, and my hips. That's just to show you, because some people are like, Pilates, how do you do that? And because I do a lot of virtual training, because I have clients all over the world, we've even transitioned to doing virtual Pilates, Linda, because the routine that we do in the pool is very similar to what's on land. So my client can be in the pool virtually and I can be on land and still teaching them. How cool is that? Cool. So we have extended what we've known to be Pilates all these years, because it's always been mat work or with the equipment, which is phenomenal. And I love it all. I love all aspects, but you've got to switch it up. So this is something I'm doing for 20 some years. And I thought, I'm just going to I want to challenge this. Now, and I will say it was not fun because honestly, Linda, there were shorts I wasn't fitting in. I've never done this before. I've never just really slacked. And it was very uncomfortable for me, but I did it because I wanted to be able to say, wow. And I wowed myself. I was going to wait till the end of the month to measure, but I thought I'm going to do it now. And the reason also behind this is because with Pilates, when you are working out, and ideally the perfect workout is 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. Joseph believes you could do 20 minutes a day and be fine. So again, it's phenomenal. It's easy. This is something that's doable in all schedules. When you are working with Pilates, you tend to first go, I don't think anything's happening. Now, this is me. Now, let's be clear. I'm an instructor of over 20 some years. You don't see your own self. You don't, right? Like you're just you're like, oh, I still can't get into my favorite shorts. Nothing is working. I can't believe this. I'm in 16 sessions. What the heck is going on, Linda? So that's when my old self goes, you ding-a-ling. Pilates, you lose inches first. And I know this, but I was just in my ego mind. You lose inches first. It starts around your bust and it slowly goes all the way down. And then you usually lose last around your hips. So this was amazing that I lost everywhere. So when I did that, I went, oh my gosh. And then I put on other pairs of shorts and I was like, oh, yay. That was lovely. But yeah, it's such an amazing method, and the posture and feeling good and the pelvic floor, which is so important for women, particularly as we age, because I know some people go, well, even in the pool, you have the weight resistance. Again, you've got the resistance, just like being on the machine, but you've got the resistance of the water in yourself, still strengthening your pelvic floor, which is so important as we get older. You're still getting that muscle, that weight resistance, which we need for bone growth. And I'll tell you, over the years, I was always 5'1.5" forever, Linda. I actually gained a whole inch in height. So I have stayed 5'2" forever.
Really?
Because of Pilates. Because you're strengthening and you're lengthening out your spine from the inside out. So that's where your posture, after one session, your posture is completely different than how you walked in.
Are you ready to lose inches, increase strength, and tone your body from head to toe? Are you ready for a total body, mind, and spirit transformation? I am excited to announce that I am launching my exclusive 8-week Pilates Return to Life training program. This will give you an opportunity to have a total body, mind, and spirit transformation of health and wellness to a new lifestyle. Imagine in 7 days you will feel a difference, in 14 days you will see a difference, and in 8 weeks you will have your new Pilates body. So what do you say? Want to join me on the mat? Head over to jenniferpilates.com today. Space is limited. Use this special promo code EW and the word special, EW special, to receive $200 off while space is available. Head on over to jenniferpilates.com and I'll see you on the mat.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, so many incredible things. And I'm just delighted at how much benefit you can get from going from one source. And I love that you talked about how our body and our mind and our spirit, all of these things are interconnected. And that when you start to do these things, it is also helping with your mind. And if you're talking about like an accident and trauma, it's not just physical. It is also emotional and getting that anxiety and not feeling safe and all of these kinds of things. And it's so cool that there's more than one way to fix things. And I love that doing something physically can help us mentally and emotionally as well, which is magic.
It's totally magic. And I love it because I'm not, and I'll be honest, I'm like anyone else. I'm not a workout fanatic. I'm not. I like to walk. I like to do Pilates. Yes, I used to always be on a treadmill here and there, but now that I live between Florida and Arizona, I'm always outside. That's the last thing I want to do is be in the gym. It's to be able to do it in the pool, do it on the mat, have 10 minutes here or 20 minutes there. That's what I love to encourage with my clients, that you don't have to just spend an hour. If you have the hour, that's phenomenal. But a little bit can go a long ways too. And I think that's something that's so important with the way that our lives are changing. And sometimes we just don't know what's happening from one moment to the next, Linda. So it's good to know that you've got 10 minutes. You need it. Just close the door, go for it. Put the mat outside on the lawn, go for it. And you can do it.
Okay, now that makes all the difference because people are busy. And you even talked earlier about, I don't even have time to go to the grocery store. I've got other things that I need to do. Our time is precious. And then to be able to say, okay, now what you need to do, or what would really benefit you, is to spend some time exercising and doing this specific thing of Pilates. And some people think, are you crazy? I don't have time. I don't have time. And we talked about how some things we can hire out. We can't hire this one out. I cannot hire someone else to exercise for me. I cannot hire someone else to eat well for me. Hey, I think I'm supposed to drink more water. Jennifer, could you drink some more water for me? There are some things that we cannot hire out. We cannot delegate out. And this is one, and that is our physical health and well-being. So it is just reassuring and comforting when you say, if I have 10 minutes, there's something that I can do. Because 10 minutes feels doable. And you know what? If I love it, I might just make some more time for it. But I got to start.
If you love it, you might go, that 10 minutes wasn't bad. Oh, I can't wait to do 10 minutes every day. Or, oh yeah, that's going to be great. And I find that even myself, like I love a good 10, 15, 20-minute workout. Tops 30. But that's the way that things have transitioned in life is. And that's what he believed. 20 minutes a day. And he believed everything in moderation. He drank his whiskey. He smoked his cigars. He did his workouts. He ate. He drank. He lived a great life. And he always said he was 50 years before his time. And he was absolutely correct on that aspect. He had it down to a science on balancing life and balancing fun and balancing his relationship with his lovely wife, who was also an instructor with him. It's just finding that little bit of balance, but remembering that putting self first is really self-serving. It's not selfish. And it's so important to do.
It is. And that reminds me of that little safety preview that they always give on the airplanes about how if you happen to need an oxygen mask, put one on yourself first so you can help others. And the reason is we are better able to serve other people if we're in a good place. And that makes all the difference. Like you said, this is not selfish. This is a benefit.
Absolutely. It truly is. And for people that sometimes they still don't get it, I always say, let's take this analogy. You're angry and you're frustrated and you're having a fit. Okay, are you now going to go to church? Are you going to go to your women's group? Are you going to go and get on the phone and call your love? No, you don't want to be around people when you have that attitude. You want to shift it. So maybe you're going to go for a quick walk. Maybe you're going to take a moment and have a glass of water. Maybe you're going to lay down and have a meditation and straighten out and balance your chakras. But you're not just going to take your angst and put it on someone else. Or we'll say you shouldn't be.
Yeah, I was going to say you can. Lots of people do that.
Lots of people do it. So learn the lesson. There's a venting, but then there's a taking advantage of. And I always say, so I love this, Linda. So I have this 90-second rule. I can have a fit, whatever it is, for 90 seconds.
Love it.
After that 90 seconds, pull it together, Jennifer. Let's move on. And at that moment, let's go, okay, not why is this happening to me? It's about how is this happening for me?
Ooh.
What is my lesson? So as an example, earlier today, I got really fit to be tied. I was upset. I couldn't get into my pool at 8:30 in the morning. There was a lock on the gate. And so it really started off my day cranky. And then I was upset about something else. And so it snowballed. And I finally just went, what are you really mad about? Because really, if you look around, your life is not that bad. And I thought, I'm really mad that someone else was controlling an aspect of my life. And I don't like to be controlled, i.e. I wanted to go swimming and this person is controlling it. Okay, so what are you going to do about that? And so there were things that I could do about that. And it's taking that moment to really take that introspect. And then you go, and sometimes it's hard, right? Because you don't always want to go, oh yeah, I guess I'm being a dodo head, or I really should. Like I had to be like, okay, like you don't like to be controlled. No, who does? And you're upset that someone's controlling you, and now you don't want to be here. And okay, so move on. It's taken a while to get here.
But I'm so proud that you are, and that you were able to get to that place quickly, because a lot of people do not know why they're angry. They feel angry all the time. And you say, why? And if I were going to come up with a why, I would say, duh, it's because somebody had the pool locked. And you would stop right there, instead of recognizing that is just a surface thing. There's something going on deeper. And when I find out what the heart of it is, then I'm going to be better able to solve what it is that's going on in my mind.
And I knew, because there was a difference, because it kept festering, right? Like this frustration kept following me around, and I'm like, this isn't me. And then I was like, okay, what are you? And then I was like, okay, I'm like, I hear it. I have a control issue. I also am being guided that my time is up where I'm living. And so I just said out loud today, I said, okay, you know what, God and angels, I'm good. I'll start packing boxes today, as a matter of fact, if you show me where. I want a definite sign today. Where am I going?
Wow.
Because technically I'm not supposed to be transitioning for some time. But I thought, no, like you don't have to keep giving me these aggravations. Like I'm good. I'm happy. I'm a mover. I move a lot. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. Where are we going? Show me. And so it's taking that time and going a step deeper. Now, there are other times where, say, someone pulls out in front of you. And anytime someone does that now, I'll be like, oh, such a dodo head. And then I'll be like, oh my God, blessings to you. I hope you get where you need to be. I hope everything's okay. So you just switch it. I'm all like, okay, you obviously needed to go first, not me. That's fine. Thank you for saving me from whatever is happening. It's just really calming down and remembering how good it feels to be at peace on the inside, especially when the world is chaotic outside, and knowing, and I think this is so important, Linda, that you have the right and you deserve to be happy regardless of what is going on around you.
Ooh, you have the right and you have the ability to be happy and to feel at peace, even when some jerk pulls in front of you in traffic. Even when things don't go the way that you want, we have the power from the inside. And that's really what makes all the difference. So thank you so much for bringing that to people's attention. Is there anything that you want to make sure that we cover before we close today?
I feel like this has been so amazing, Linda, and I want to thank you again for everything that you're doing, and all the light and inspiration you're bringing to this world is amazing.
I appreciate that. And I loved when you talked about how I bring the light everywhere I go. And I appreciate you bringing some light here today.
Thank you so much, Linda.
In closing, I'd like to share a quote by J.K. Rowling. She said, "We do not need magic to transform our world. We carry all of the power we need inside ourselves already." Today, I invite you to recognize and accept the power you have within. See you next time on Linda's Corner. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode of Linda's Corner, please share and subscribe to help us reach new listeners. I also invite you to check out my nonprofit, Hope for Healing, at the website hopeforhealingfoundation.org for free ebooks and other free resources to help increase happiness, build confidence and self-esteem, strengthen relationships, manage stress, and calm feelings of depression and anxiety. I also invite you to grab a copy of one of my books, Crushed, A Journey Through Depression, or Amazon bestseller, You Got This, an action plan to calm fear, anxiety, worry, and stress. See you next time on Linda's Corner.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Empowered Within with Jennifer Pilates. Your feedback is important. It helps me to connect with you and gives me insight into who you are and what you're enjoying about the show. For today's show notes and discount codes from today's sponsors, head over to jenniferpilates.com. Until next time, may you live an empowered life from within.